So in this video I want to show a game that I played a few days ago against the chess engine Leela Zero. The reason I played this game was because I was curious to see how it would perform on my phone, and I was surprised to see the depth. It was only getting to about depth 6 or 7 in a blitz game, which is really low compared to other engines. So I figured that I had a reasonable chance of at least not getting crushed. And well, there is another game that is very similar in which I actually had winning chances. So, well, the game started with e4, c5, the Sicilian defense. I had the white pieces, obviously, and I just decided to play the one Gambit. So takes a3 and now e6, which I don't really like this move. I don't think it really is the most testing move. In fact, I think that white actually has a slight advantage just because after capturing and bishop takes, you get the pawns in the center, you're getting a tempo on the bishop, so you do have some compensation for the pawn. I wouldn't say that it's full compensation, but it's definitely better than the main line. So after d5, I played e5 instead of recapturing because, well, against an engine you don't really want to play an open position, so I want to keep the structure closed, or at least as closed as possible. So if you can see, the pawn structure is kind of like a French defense, which is what I like about this, since when I played against humans, they don't usually play the French if they play the Sicilian, so they might not know what to do. And here I went knight f3, which is not a very good move. Better was just to go queen g4, attacking the pawn, and after king f8, well, now you can maybe bring the bishop out to d3. So knight f3, not the best move, but it's not terrible. And now b5. So pretty simple. Black is just gonna push the pawns and try to get a queen. And here went knight bd2. I should have played bishop d3, and after a5 maybe castles or something else. But after this move, well, a5. Here I could still play something like queen c2, maybe. But after bishop d3, queen c7, that move is really annoying. I mean, that's when I knew that, okay, maybe it's not going to like depth 18 or 20 like Stockfish, but it's still playing pretty strong moves. Hitting the pawn, and here actually the best move according to Stockfish is knight to b1, which is just ridiculous. I don't think any human being would play a move like knight back to b1 unless you're, I don't know, 2800. So after bishop b2, which I didn't want to play this move, but I didn't really have anything better. This is just like a big pawn that's being blocked in by its own pawn structure. So the computer went a4, and after queen c1, well, that was a mistake. Much better was probably just castling, and after something like knight h6, rook e1, I mean, you can see that black is better, but it's not that huge edge. But after queen c1, now it's really starting to get up into like -1. So, and here, well, I don't really want to take, but if I don't take, then either b3 or a3, just trapping the bishop, is winning the game, so I have to take it. And well, after takes, I have to take with the bishop, because otherwise a3 is just really annoying. So after recapturing, this is a really shocking move. Most engines, I think, would probably just take the pawn, like most people would, but not getting greedy and just developing the piece. Knight c6. Here I thought, well, if I push my own pawn, then maybe I have, counterplay against this pawn, which is coming down the board. But that's just wishful thinking, apparently. Or the engine just calculated that it's not, the B pawn is not dangerous, whereas this pawn, it really is a lot more of a pain for white. So after b5, well, the stockfish prefers bishop a3, and after takes, castles, and you can see that this is still much better for black. But after b5, knight b4, I mean, this is like the third move that just shows me how strong this engine is, even when it's playing at a relatively low depth. I didn't want to go for this because, I mean, this is just completely losing. I saw this, bishop takes, and now my king's stuck in the center of the board. I can't castle this, rook's not gonna come into the game. The knight is dominating this bishop, which cannot come out to these squares. And this pawn is just gonna come down the board. So this is all black. I mean, white is basically tied up. And here, actually, Stockfish came up with a move which I didn't see because, well, the position just looks terrible for white. Knight to b3. Obviously, you can't take because you drop the exchange with check. So I went king e2 instead, but this is even worse. So after knight takes, king takes, bishop check. The engine's recommendation is to go king c3, which is just, I mean, you want to line up the king on this open file for an attack. As a human being, you don't want to do that. So I played king e3. And after knight h6, I played the losing move. Or, well, I mean, it's already lost, but this is just making it much worse. So knight f5 check, king f4, and now g5 check. And here I have to take. After takes, rook g8, king back. I mean, this is completely lost. This pawn's hanging. This pawn's hanging. You can see the evaluation. I mean, this is just resigns. But here I just blundered and I made into. So check, king h3, and I thought I was just gonna lose a piece. I was getting ready to resign, but I got checkmated instead. So I was impressed actually. So yeah, uh, neural networks are gonna be much stronger than stockfish. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.